Hi everyone, Andrea here with Crafts on the Move. Thank you so much for purchasing the Ribbon and Poinsettia A2 card kit. The kit features this beautiful card and includes the Gifting Bow Die set from Spellbinders, which is this set right here. And then this is the dies that are included in the set. And in this tutorial, I'm going to share the kit contents, supplies and tools required to assemble your card, and then lastly, assemble the card so that you can craft along. A quick note I want to point out is the original sample has white buds on it. You are actually going to be making pink buds. It's a light pink. It's called Blush. And I wanted to make note because you're going to see throughout some of the video the sample with the white. But while I'm assembling throughout the video, it's going to be pink. And your final card will have pink buds instead of white buds. I also want to share the two better press plates that were used to make a couple of the items that are already included in your kit. So your sentiments are already foiled and die cut. And for those, I use the Merry Messages better press plate and die set. And then your background panel is already foiled. And I use the Snowfall Shimmer to hot foil the background of the snowflakes on your card panel. Next, we're going to go into the kit contents. Now it's time to go over your kit contents. In addition to the written instructions, the cutting guide, and the photo printed picture of the card, you will have your die set and then two bags. One is labeled paper for die cutting, which is this bag, and then the second bag is not labeled, and that's the bag we're going to go over now. So in that bag, you will have received 5 hot foiled sentiments, so you can mix and match however you want on the cards and pick whichever ones suit you. And then there's also 3 foiled A2 panels, 3 A2 card bases with the top fold, and then 3 A2 envelopes. In the second bag that's labeled paper for die cutting, you will have 2 A2 white panels, 4 A2 tutu panels, 2 rainforest card panels, 2 fern A2 card panels, a half a A2 card panel with brushed gold, and then 1/4 of a card panel, A2 card panel in blush and poppy. To quickly go over the tools and supplies that you need, the list is very short. I used double-sided foam adhesive. This is actually optional, but I use this to pop up the flowers. I also recommend liquid glue. It will make gluing the flowers down easier, but you can also use a tape runner. I did use my tweezers, and I used the pickup stick on this tool, and I used scissors. We are going to get started off with assembling the flowers for the cards. I'm first going to start off by assembling the berries, the little berry sprig, and I cut off, this got cut off a little bit, and it's fine because nobody's going to know. You're going to add a little small dab of liquid adhesive to the big circles on the berry sprig, and then you're going to place the blush bulb cutouts onto those little berries and just make sure they're aligned right. Once you have your base bulbs on your green sprig, you're going to take the liquid glue and just add a little dollop of glue towards the bottom of the pink bulb because the red part doesn't go all the way up to the top. It doesn't cover the whole bulb. And then you just place these little red cutouts on top of your bulb and make sure they're lined up. Once you have your bulb sprig done, I then would assemble the poinsettia, and I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the center of one of the white poinsettias and then just offset your petals as you wish. And then you're going to add a little bit of glue to the green poinsettia and place this white layered one on top. I had to do that off camera just a little bit. I was having a hard time getting it layered the way I wanted it. You can always cut more poinsettia pieces too if you want it to be a little bit more full, but I'm really happy with that. The next step is going to just be placing your brush gold centers to the centers of your die cut flowers. And I just take a little dab of glue in each center and then glue the center that I want to coordinate with that flower. The next step I'm going to do for the card is add the ribbon and the bows. And you have 2 ribbons cut and 4 bows. And essentially what happens is the 2 ribbons are going to be on the top and bottom opposing each other. And when they get a little bit close enough to each other with the right placement, you're going to take your bow and it's going to look like the ribbon is flowing out of the bow on the left and the right as well. Just make sure everything's centered. This is a little tricky. You do have the liquid adhesive if you're going to use that. It gives you a little wiggle room, but you do want to be careful because that will show up on your card if you move your die. So just be careful. Now these ribbons don't have to be touching, but it is nice if they're close to one another. See that? So it looks like it's flowing right out of that bow. How gorgeous is that? Now I'm just going to add my bows. The ribbon and bows are now glued on, and there is definitely a difference in height. So I'm going to actually end up doing my card, rotating my card. I want a little bit more gap at the top than I do at the bottom. And now it's just adding your flowers and your greenery. It's going to be adding my greenery, and I'm just fiddle with these pieces before I glue them down, figure out where I want them. You might have to trim a little bit of these stems off depending on where you want them. And you just take your scissor and trim them off. And the other thing I'm going to mention is I did pop up all the flowers. So this will be popped up on some double-sided foam tape along with these other 2 smaller flowers. So I have the card all set, and now I'm just going to take my sentiment and I'm going to add Merry Christmas. That's the one I'm going to use on this one. And I'm going to pop it up with some double-sided foam adhesive. Hopefully your panel's all decorated. Now the last thing that you want to do is take your decorative panel and glue it to your card base. And there is the final card. Thank you so much for crafting with me, and I hope your recipients love their cards. Until next time, have a great and crafty day.